Hi guys, welcome back to customcomputing.ca. Today we're going to be doing a gold rush build, basically just a black and white theme. The first part that I had to get for this theme was the power supply. This power supply is an Ultra X4, 1000 watt, contrary to what the box says. That's not the right box for it. Gold edition. This was a special edition that was made probably about 4 years ago and was extremely difficult to get. Finding this used was something I had to jump on as soon as I saw it. It took me about 6 months to find one on eBay or other sites, and once I did see it, I bid on it immediately. It's a gold plus power watt supply, so you know it's good and it's going to have consistent voltages. With that said, the black and white siding is what I purchased it for. It's fully modular, so we're going to be doing custom sleeving with gold and black sleeves, as well as we're going to have it's SLI ready capable, so we can add another power supply if we need to boost up more than 1000 watts. But I think for this build with two pumps and two GPUs, we should be good with about 1000 watts. So the next item is going to be the EK water block for my CPU, which is a gold edition as well. So here we see the CPU block in contrast to the power supply, and the golds go really well together. The interior of the block is gold as well, which means you won't be able to see this unless you're using clear liquid. Now, originally I was going to use the Mayhem's Aura gold, but that's a little too thick and would defeat the purpose of having this water block. So for the CPU loop alone, I'm definitely going to be having to use a clear coolant. But for the GPU, I think I may be going with um, a black or a Aura type of coolant. The two plus and minuses of having this water block is one, positive is its aesthetics. Two, it's from EK, so you know it's good. And the third one is it comes with adjustable pressure templates for the back, so you can unscrew the actual top and put on separate uh, pressure templates for the water flow. I'm going to be taking a look at some of the reviews on these different templates and see what I can do with my current loop. I should be using two pumps, D5 pumps, so it should have an extremely high flow rate. I just don't want the CPU block to be the bottleneck. This will be going into a RAM block as well, and then through to a triple radiator if all goes well. I may be taking off that silver EK sticker at the top and painting that gold as well, but we'll have to see if it's just too much gold or if I can paint it black, and that might actually do good contrast. The next item that I'm going to be using is the Intel 530 series 240 gig SSD. I got this on sale, so I jumped on it. It was a pretty good buy. I've taken the sticker off because I'm either going to be painting itself gold or just that little portion there black. Not too sure what I'm going to be doing with it as well. I'm not too sure if it's going to even be visible in the build. If it's not going to be visible, then I'm not going to bother with it. But Intel sells great SSDs as well as reliable and fast. So that's going to be what's powering my hard drives. This also comes with a black cover onto the SSD. So we could do a lot of interesting things with it. We could either go black and then have the background gold, or we can paint this cover gold or just the Intel symbol gold. I'm not too sure exactly what's going to go well yet, but we'll have to wait and see when the build starts coming together. And finally, the main part of my build, obviously the case. We're going to go with a Corsair Obsidian 750D. Ever since this came out, I've been eyeing this case for possible mods and for future builds. So essentially, you can see that there's room up at the top there for a triple radiator, and several people have used it. The issue does come with that hard drive cage, which I'm going to be taking out immediately. Also removing these two hard drive bay sections. Seems to be plenty of room for what I want to plan, which will be two triple rads, one in the front, one at the top, as well as dual reservoirs. Excuse me. The front here, I'm going to be taking out those 3 hard rod bays and putting an acrylic piece in with an engraving and LEDs shining through the top. Um, it's going to be a smoked acrylic piece that may have a emblem of some sort that I'm going to drill through and light up in gold, but it's going to look fantastic once it's done. So here we have a quick mock-up of the triple rad setup that's going to be up the front. That's about the height that it's going to go to, and that should leave enough space for the rad up top and then linking down to this triple rad at the bottom. So the next step to do is I've taken pretty much all out all the guts, and now we have to take out the hard drive cage. It appears to be held on by several rivets as well as it's actually part of the case. So we're probably going to have to Dremel off one of the sides in order to get it off of there. But I'm going to analyze the construction and take it from there and show you guys how I removed the hard drive cage in order to get the triple rad in the front. So we can see about 4 rivets here that we need to drill out, as well as if we look a little bit further, we can see that it's actually attached to the front plate. So we're going to have to actually Dremel out some of the metal, but it shouldn't be too hard. 4 pieces here to drill out, and then a little bit of cutting, and it should come out fairly smoothly. So now we've dremeled out the 4 pieces, but it still seems to be attached to the cage. There's a thin attachment here along this line that we're just going to have to thin out and bend it off. So we're going to Dremel out that and then smooth it out with a little bit of sanding. And basically this is not going to be seen either way, but we may have to repaint it if it doesn't go as well as planned. So as you can see here, I'm dribbling out the small portion that is attached to the case. It's fairly simple, it's just one line, so we don't have to worry about making extreme precision cuts. Once you get that piece dremeled off, the hard drive gauge should just pop right out. Um, this is important because we require this space to A, put a triple rad in there, and B, we don't really need to use the hard drive cages for anything. The only concern that I do have is I do like fan controllers, and I'm not too sure how or where I'm going to be able to put some fan controlling device in this unit because I'm taking the 5¼ inch bays out. The other option is to have the fan controller either mounted to the side of the back or somewhere where you can't really see it. Now that we have it cut out, we're going to be able to use the triple rad and we're going to sand down the sides there, but we're also going to take out these little nubs here and here in order to have the triple rad and fans flush to the side. We may be using a piece of acrylic or a piece of metal to create a flat surface for the mounting of the res and pump config, which would then go all the way down here to the bottom and connects to the case for a solid piece. As you can see, all the way down to the bottom there, if we were to put a piece of acrylic and attach it to the case, it would make it a lot more solid. So we're going to have to wait for the rads to come in, and at which point I will be mounting them to a mount and then testing the spacing. So please rate, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think. Thank you.